Hello, and welcome to the first episode of KingsScoop.com with One-on-One with Harold Pressley. I'm your host, Malcolm Means, and let's get right on into it. So Harold, I'd like to know your take on what's going on with the Sacramento Kings this year.
Well, the Sacramento Kings is it's going to be a very interesting and fun year for the Kings if they can get off to a great start. And by that I mean you have an opportunity to jump on some teams nice and early right now. What happens in the NBA is the normal teams that you see at the top of the chain are usually veteran teams where they have older guys and they don't normally get in shape until the season gets underway and it's a couple months into it. So if you can catch those teams nice and early, get your confidence going, beat those teams, you will start having an awful lot of fun and gain confidence, get the young guys acclimated to the NBA, and you will see the Kings do some big things early on in the season if they get in shape from training camp.
Well, I think these guys are really young, so I think that they're really athletic and ready to go out and compete. Now, one thing I'd like to ask you is when you came into the league, you played 4 years of college basketball versus a lot of these NBA players now who've only done 1 year and jumped right into the league. Talk a little bit about that, about your transition into the NBA versus their transition and how much of an impact that has on a player.
Oh, it's a big deal to a player because when you come out of college, obviously you're floating, you're flying pretty high, and you think that your game is the tops, and then you start running into people that you really didn't hear much about, and you're thinking, I can take this guy, and all of a sudden, guys are just kicking your butt up and down the court. I mean, that's a real knock to you. But once you get comfortable and start understanding how to do certain things, how to play the NBA style, it starts to settle in and becomes very comfortable. But you have to take your knocks as a rookie.
Right on. Well, you've heard it from Harold. I've got one more question for you. Now, this one here, I want to know your honest opinion. DeMarcus Cousins, they've given him a label of being a troublemaker, being a hardhead, and moping around. What do you think about this guy?
I don't truly know him, his personality and all that type of thing. So I'm going to just say, for the most part, I know the NBA, and the NBA is going to understand that this guy is a tremendous talent. This guy can have a tremendous career. He will be one of the marquee players as he goes forward. So they're not going to let him slip away. What they're going to do is they're going to get to him early and teach him how to be a marquee player, just as they did with LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and all the guys who came out real early. You jump on them, you teach them how to be a player in the NBA, both on and off the court. Once they get that under control, what it is he has a chance to be terrific.
Right.
And the only way he can do that is to maintain a positive attitude and a positive image. The image is a huge part for the NBA. So they will get him under wraps and teach him what he needs to do and what he needs to say, and how he needs to act, and everything else to be a top-notch NBA player.
Well, you've totally seen that in Tyreke Evans. I mean, the guy speaks very well. He knows exactly what he wants to do out on the basketball court, and he does it night in and night out. So it seems like he was basically groomed for the NBA.
He was also special. He came into the NBA special. As everybody said, he probably should have been a #1 pick.
No question.
But he had some issues that followed him from his past, coming out of high school and college, whatever. They were afraid to take a Tyreke Evans. Everybody right now is wishing that they did take a Tyreke Evans.
I'm so glad we have.
And the same thing for Cousins. They were afraid to take Cousins. Everybody said the same thing. He should have been a #1 draft choice for every NBA team. But they were afraid. The Kings were in a position where they had to take a guy like Cousins because it was time to change the image of the Sacramento Kings. And he is a franchise changer. Let it be known that he is a franchise changer, and that's the reason that they took him, thinking that, yes, there could be some issues. They didn't have time to worry about that.
Hey, issues or no issues. I know a guy who's 6'11", 265 or whatever he weighs, 255, light on his feet, and can do some of the things that he does.
295.
I don't know if he's that big now, friends. Put the hand
what he does
down.
do is he's got all the skills. He's been very well taught ever since whatever it was when he first started playing. He has some excellent coaching. His footwork is tops. His hand skills, his ability to catch the ball and make moves underneath the basket is phenomenal.
Yes.
As well as his touch. He can shoot the ball just like any guard. So you're talking about somebody who should be a superstar if he keeps his head on straight.
And Calipari, I tell you what, that guy, John Calipari, his college coach at Kentucky, he's put out some big marquee players. Marcus Camby.
Well, let's not talk about how he got those players. I really like Calipari, so we're not going to talk about that. But we do know that there's been some history following him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, you're right about that. We're going to keep that on the QT. And that's right, he did have Tyreek as well. So
yes,
he keeps those special players around him. So we've got 2 of them. So let's see if the Kings are going to be able to do it. Any final thoughts about the season?
I think it's going to be an excellent season. The fans are going to really enjoy what they see on the basketball court coming from the Sacramento Kings this year. It's a fun, young team. Yes, they are going to have to learn an awful lot to compete towards the end of the year, but you're going to see at the beginning of the year, they're just going to give it their all, and they're going to have some fun, and you're going to be surprised at what is out on the basketball court for the Sacramento Kings.
Right on. Well, I hear it. So you think you're going to come back and talk to us again?
I'll be back as much as you like. I'm here.
Let's make that happen then, man.
You got it.
Here it is. First segment of One-on-One with Harold Pressley for Kingscoop.com. Your host, Malcolm Means, along with Harold Pressley. We'll be seeing you the next time. Take care.